Okay guys, Richard Jackson here. Let's go over an ES review and some trades that were taken from my last video, I guess, where it was a bit of a frustrating night for me on Tuesday, I guess it was. We've had Wednesday, we had last night, and they were a lot better, obviously. Whenever you get a frustrating night, remember that there's always the next day, and the next day is always different to the day before, right? So, we did see this massive sell-off in here, okay? The next day came around and it was completely different, okay? So therefore, that should give everybody should keep everybody optimistic. And that's what keeps me optimistic as well about, if I have a terrible day, that the next day will definitely be different. The system, if your systems weren't working one day, they will definitely work the next, okay? And that's what it's all about. All of you should understand that it's about the probability game. It's about the long-term play. What we need to do is recognize what type of pattern hold that we're in, or what type of market that we're in, so that we can take advantage of it at the time, okay? So let's, to add on to that, what type of pattern are we in at the moment? We've had this massive sell-off because of CPI and rates, etc. Now we're just, bouncing in this range here between, 36.50 and 38, right? So, okay, so let's go back. Let me have a look. Okay, so here, let's go into here. We've got this with double bottom. We all know that that's there. It's come off the one level, okay, the 100 FE100, okay, perfectly. Sold off again, like very viciously sold off. It just really did not want to look for long. Counter trend trading that, is pretty dangerous. In saying that, I did expect some sort of bounce at the 236, which it did, a little one, okay? Took advantage of that. Drove straight, this was the open of the Euro session, drove straight through that and then sat down here at the 618 of this whole move to the upside, okay? So this 618 was very key level in here. Let's go have a look at it on 1 minute chart. And this is where I said that there was an accumulation phase going on, okay? All right, so in here we had, we had a better day. I had a better day. Let's go. This here was my last video that I did, that I showed you, where I took a one long, missed, short, which I missed again, then a couple of stops, and then missed another one. So, that was pretty frustrating. So I just had to leave that alone. However, it did work out really nicely, right? We had, a nice bounce, and then, a lot of opportunities during the US session. Okay, coming over into the next day, this was the big sell-off, okay? This is the FE100 over here, that we're from the double bottom, okay? So then we just started selling off pretty viciously, okay? All through during the day, it sold off. First stop, second one, I got it. Third one, I got a stop, then I got it again. I'm counter trend trading this because I'm looking at very key levels in here. This was the 382 of this whole up move, okay? So I did get two stops, 2-3 wins out of it. That was it for me for the day, but it just continued to sell off really, really hard, okay? Sorry, that was not the end of the day. This was into the Euro session in here, okay? And then it blew straight through this 50% level of this whole up move, okay? Based on the viciousness of this, or the momentum that's going on down on the downside. So all of the Europeans started selling it really hard. So that's why it blew straight through it. So with such momentum, levels stop really reacting. Okay, so we just got to be careful. And I know I've said it to everybody before, you know, when we've got such steep momentum to the downside, volatility to the downside, go with the trend. But, you know, and this is where, you know, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed with myself where I was counter trend trading it. Okay. Sorry. Then it blew straight through here. I took shorts in here as well. So let me just put the short in here. So on this, I think I shorted it on this about there. Only took a few points out of it. Okay. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I would be harping on about this to everybody. Hold on to the bloody thing until you get a definite reversal signal. And our definite reversal signal in here is this divergence in here. Okay. So this is the last fractal point. Let me just get rid of that. This is the last fractal point in here, right? So that's where the stop should have been. So, you know, all in all, it would have been the same amount anyway. Okay. And then we've come in to this 618 of this whole up move. Okay, this 618 is going to be a very key level. Okay, let me just go back one step. Okay, this 50%, this could have caught a lot of people because this is the SR level as well of the double bottom. Okay, so typically in a double bottom we get a push up back to the 50% and then off it goes back to the upside, but this wanted to go all the way to the 618 because of the momentum to the downside. Okay, there's a lot of people that on the open, they weren't looking at the bigger picture in here. They were looking at, you know, this small momentum, and they were just loading up all of the contracts on the short side. In here, we've got this Wyckoff accumulation phase in here. Okay, all right, so we can see here, these are all this is the last the down thrust in here. Okay, and then we've got the up move up in here. So if we take this as a level, right, and then we take this is one of the levels in here as well. Okay, all right, so there's your entry over here for long, and you certainly would have got a nice long out of that. Okay, but it was nice to recognize that down on the 1 minute chart that this happened. Okay, now I did take a long on here. There's my long. I took it down right down here at 96. Where's my 96? Yeah, there's a 96, and I took it out at 108. Oh, 08. There it is. 08. There, 12 points. Okay, so that's I knew that this was the 618. It really had to bounce there. Okay. On this short side, on this short leg here, do I still have it written in? Let me just zoom in. I don't have it written in, so let's go short leg in there. How's that? That lines up perfectly with this one. That's really cool. I've got this short leg in here. I was watching that one, so that's right. I had this in here, okay? This last leg in here. And this was the 382 on the short, on that really last short leg in there. I had the 382. That's why I wanted to take it out just before it. Wanted to take it out before the 200 period moving average as well. So that's what I did. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Just hold on one second. I've got someone at the door. Okay. So sorry about that. Where am I? Okay. So coming in to that was a bounce there. Now, we could have taken it all the way up. Open of the US session, they knew that was bouncing off here. That's really the bottom of the bottoms. Off we go. So we basically went overnight from 37 to 38, 100 points. That's a great move. It really is. So off it went. Up hit the 38 level. Now, if you were trading early in the morning, there was a lot of opportunity to go short in here. Nice divergence in there to go short right off the 38 level. Okay, did bust past it, but you know, nice 38 level. That coincides with this low over here. Okay, so this is a significant area. This 38 and SR. Okay, so let's just make sure that you know we're aware of that. Coming into the next day. Let me try and remember what I did. Okay, so here what I did is this one short up in here, went short for 3 odd point, no 5, I think I went 5 points in there. Yep, 5 points in now, went short off this MA, the 500 MA. Then I went long position off the 382. So I came in a little bit, oh no, it was off the 50 period moving average. Okay, I took that out for 3. So that was about 8 points. And that was before lunch, which was good. I think I put a post up about that on Facebook if you'd seen it. Then I went out and I didn't really do too much because of, because I was, doing other things. I came back to it in the evening and I took a long up in here. Let me just double check that because I deleted them. Sorry guys. Yeah, I took a long in here. Here's the long. Because what was good about this is that there is nice head and shoulders in there. I hope everybody saw that head and shoulders. This was an SR level as well of some sort. Okay, so there's SR level in there that coincided with this up here. So that's a 618 up in there of that whole up move. That whole up move, and then there's a head and shoulders in there. So that was a great trade. Now I think Greg held on to this a lot longer than I did. Okay, so there I got in here and I took a handful of points out of it, five or 6 points out of it. Now Greg, who's one of the trainees here as well, he took it further up. I think took it up to approximately 21 points I think he took out of it, which was a great hold, excellent hold. With that viciousness of that momentum up in there, that's a great trade all the way up. Got a kind of a pseudo head and shoulders up in there as well. That was up there at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so there's a rejection candles up in here. If we take that to a 5-minute chart, we can see, let me go back up in here, there's the rejection. No, sorry, not there, over here, keep going, here, almost a tweezers up in there. Certainly divergence, especially on the 1-minute chart. We've got the divergence going on. Yeah, where am I? Go backwards. We've got divergence, pretty severe divergence in there, which is, if you're divergence trading this, that was a good trade too. So there's your divergence, right? Here's your trend line, waiting for the break, come in here, okay? And then you can take it all the way down, okay? Those 3 were the only trades that I did for yesterday. So that was enough points for me. So I kind of switched off from there. I was watching it, but there was plenty of opportunities in here. I mean, looking at this, moving to the upside, and I've said this before, you take this, there's a top, right? Turns into a low. Here's a top, turns into a low. Here's a top, turns into a low. Here's a top, turns into a low. There's a couple of pops in here as well. We had, order blocks sitting there. With showing that there was a lot of contracts sitting at the next just above the previous high, and then they just popped it, right, and kept going. Okay, so there's plenty of opportunities to keep going long on this momentum. We've got high delta in there, so just keep going with it, right? Okay, I challenge the next person or anybody listening to this, let's see whether we can hold on to some of these ones, right? It's very difficult. We just want to get out. We want to get to our target and get out. But if we do have the courage to hold on to some of these things, then our risk to reward or system R multiple goes right up. Okay. especially if you're only really achieving 50-50 at this point in time. I challenge you just to experiment trying to hold on to some of these runners, all right? And we could have told what the runner was just purely from this high momentum in here that was going to keep running up right up into 38. Now it's hit the 38 level. We've hit this 500 period moving average on the half-hour chart. So, which is about the 250, let's call it the 200 on the 1 hour chart. So let's go to a 1 hour chart. So it's just poked its head through it, okay? So let's just see, it might still just play around in these levels tonight. We might even come back up and close this gap tonight. Who knows, okay? But just remember that gap is still there needing to be closed, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks.